you look back, I'm pleased with last week's game of, like we continue to say, different guys step up, make plays when we need them to make plays for us, and find a way to win games. I think, different guys have stepped up every game to make plays for us to help us win. So, you look at that, but that game's way behind us at this point, moving on to a very, very difficult Arkansas team. A team that plays excellent defense. They got a great defensive line. They run the football very, very aggressive style defense that they play. They've been very successful against a lot of high potent offenses this year. Really, you look at, besides a couple of big plays at the end of the game, slowed down A&M, which is, everybody knows, one of the top offenses in the country. Really shut down Alabama, who's a big explosive offense as well. So a great challenge with the physicality of their defense and how fast they are on defense. For us on the offense side of the ball, what makes it a challenge with how good they are on defense, you don't get many opportunities at the ball. They got the biggest offensive line in the United States, including pro football. So they're a big, big physical outfit, two of the top tailbacks in the country. And, two guys over 700 yards already this season and at the tailback position. Then a quarterback that, when he gets can really throw the football, and is very, very efficient throwing the football. And to stop the run, and because they're so physical and so strong running the ball, they get some pretty good throw looks for him to take opportunities one-on-one down the field, and then they have the mismatches of really athletic tight ends. So a huge challenge for us, coming into this game this week. It'll be obviously every conference game is a huge challenge, and they're just another great SEC team that we're going to have to find a way to win.
Questions?
And congrats to our women's golf team being ranked #1 in the country. That's pretty awesome. So it's pretty big time.
Coach, you guys are like watching Bernard Hopkins. Every time a team punches you in the mouth, punch them right back. How's that counter-punch ability? Where does that come?
Well, a lot of it's the toughness, and you look at the offseason with guys that have been in the program, that have been developed within the program for a while, and been around and understand it. We're here to play 60-minute football games, and we go in and we understand that the other team's going to make plays. They're going to make plays on offense, they're going to make plays on defense, they're going to make plays in the kicking game. And the key to that is when that happens, put the ball down, play the next play. You're not always going to feel good. Things aren't always going to go your way during the course of the game. I think when you have some maturity, which we have within our program, when those things start to happen, guys don't really worry that much about it. They just, hey, there's absolutely nothing you can do about the play that just happened. Absolutely nothing. All you can do is worry about the next play. And I think our guys really understand that. And so, they don't get caught up in any sort of the panic or letting the situation kind of slip too far out of control.
As the only undefeated team in the SEC remaining at this point, does the kind of the playoff system start for you? Since if you went out, you're seemingly in.
The playoff system, I think, in the SEC kind of started 8 weeks ago, or however long ago it is in this league. That starts game 1 for us. I don't know. You look for us. I think our focus is beating Arkansas again. That's like coach talk, but. To me, as soon as you start thinking about more than the next play, more than the next even opponent, to get past that, you're not going to be very, very successful, And so, for us, that's kind of been the approach. We'll worry about trying to beat Arkansas, and if we're able to do that, then our focus will go to UT Martin, which is a big homecoming game, even though it's not a conference game.
You talked on Saturday about Caleb Fuel, so he's one of your favorite players. Just what makes him so special, and just talk about his role, because he's one of the more flashy guys, I guess, on that defensive line.
Well, because, Caleb's a guy that is bought into our program. He believes in what we do here, and he comes and he works hard every day, you know? I mean, he's not the biggest guy on the D-line, not the fastest guy on the D-line, not the strongest guy on the D-line. You know, but he really works his technique, his fundamentals. He gives you maximum effort, and he's always going to give you everything that he has. And, you know, on top of that, he's a great young man. You know, you know, you just look at him as a guy, and he's been like that since he came in. You know, I mean, he's still Caleb Yules. You know, I mean, he's still the person that shows up and is a great kid every day, and everything that's gone on with him. You know, with a bus incident in high school, a guy coming from a small town into the SEC, all that, he's still just Caleb Yules that's going to show up and be who he is and give you his best effort every day.
After the game, you kind of voiced some displeasure of the defense and kind of that 1B group.
Yeah.
What was the conversation like with Jeff Collins, and how did they respond in practice yesterday?
Pretty good. The conversation, Jeff had his displeasure with the 1B group too. I mean, we're all on the same page on that. So, you know, when you look at it, statistically, the 1Bs, you know, we were wholesaling, I think, we had 22 plays of 1Bs and 50 plays of 1As or something on the field. Then there was a lot of mix and match in between for some other plays. But in those 22 plays, the 1Bs gave up more yards and more than double the points. The 1As and gave up in twice as many plays. And, you know, so, I mean, our discussion with those guys on that is, you know, I mean, your reps are contingent upon how will you perform in games. Now, you're going to continue to get reps because we're not going to change who we are. We're going to play a lot of guys, rotate in. But, you know, I think one of the things that you saw in that, a lot of the guys that are the 1Bs, I tell this, a lot of younger players, maybe they haven't put in 4 years of weight room and off-season conditioning and games and battling and fighting. You know, the guys that are a little bit younger that are getting the reps, they're the ones that enjoy the pat on the backs maybe a little bit more than everybody else. You know, the other guys get a pat on the back and say, okay, that's great, but I mean, I know how much I've put in to get here. Some of those guys say, hey, you know, I had that one tough off season or 2 tough off seasons, and you know, I'm a young guy, and yeah, pat me on the back, tell me how great I am. And so, you know, what they have to understand is how hard they have to work, and there was a lot of focus on that at practice yesterday, making sure